Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know for you the videos have been daily, weekdays, but for me I haven't filmed since last Tuesday and today is Sunday. And if you follow me on social media, you know that's because Papa fell again. I think the second to last video from this one that you'll see was Papa fell. Well, Papa fell again on Wednesday, December 5th at 1 a.m. and broke his hip, which, you know, I feel like it's almost been bracing myself for this happening when you have someone who's elderly. Elderly people break their hips. It's kind of a common thing. And he has fallen, and I've been saying to myself, he's going to fall and break his hip. He's going to fall and break his hip. And he fell and broke his hip. He got up at 1 a.m. I don't know what he was doing because I kept telling him, let me handle things. You know, the dogs want to get up and stuff. I will get up. Well, he got up and he was in the kitchen and he fell. I think the fall that had happened a couple days before, I think maybe like did a little hairline fracture or something maybe. And then when he got up again that morning, it gave out and he fell and broke it completely. So 1 a.m. that happened. Now initially he just thought he just fell again and he was okay. Didn't realize he broke anything because it ended up being just the ball joint of the hip and that was broken. So it was a pretty clean break in just one area, which it was still a break. But initially he thought, oh, he's okay. So of course I had to pick him up and kind of hobble him back to bed, got him in bed, got him said, okay, I'm okay. So I get back in bed, and then about every 20 minutes, he was calling me in there. And I'm like, I think we need to go to the hospital. No. About 3 a.m., he's like, I think you need to call the ambulance. So called 911, got an ambulance. I've never done that before. I was like, 911, what's your emergency? Oh. Although, no, the first question they asked was, what address is your emergency? So fortunately, they got here super quick. Really nice EMTs. They got him loaded up. The EMT looked at him and said he could tell his hip was out or something because his leg, the way, you know, people who know this stuff can look, and he could tell it was out and his leg was like 2 inches shorter, stuff we don't know. So we go to the hospital. I followed behind, went to the hospital, the good hospital, which is unfortunately on the other side of the city, but it's the good hospital. So I was like, well, we're going there. We're not going to the other one that's closest to me where he went when he broke his leg in 2009, because that hospital it's just not good. It's just not good. He went there that time because it was an emergency and he was so much pain. This time, I mean, he was in pain, but it wasn't like, I'm going to die right now pain. Anyway, so we go over to the hospital, get there about 4. They take an x-ray. Yep, broke the hip. Do the process to admit him up to a room. Here comes the surgeon. Wait for surgery. Unfortunately, because a broken hip is not a life-threatening emergency, you get in line for surgery. So they're dealing with the people who obviously have heart attacks and C-section, you know, the people who, I get it, it's life-threatening. But then you're in line with all the other people who are non-life-threatening and probably all the broken bones and whatever else you would be in surgery for that's non-life-threatening. I don't know. Just scheduled surgeries and whatnot. But anyway, that meant that he did not get taken down into pre-op until about 5:30. And by then he'd had it. He was in so much pain. He was so frustrated by the weight, and I was too, but I'm the kind of person that when there's nothing you can do about a situation, like you just can't do anything to change it, right? I try to just calm down, accept what it is, and try to look ahead to, inevitably this is gonna pass. He can't do that, or he couldn't do that. I finally had to leave the room in post-op because he was just, I couldn't take any more of, why are we waiting? Why? He was so upset he wanted to leave. I'm like, you can't leave. He started hallucinating, which it happens, you know, sometimes with him. He was seeing things all over the wall. I finally had to walk out of the room because I'm like, I can't take this anymore. Fortunately, finally took him back to surgery, and I went out to the waiting room, and I think, oh gosh, the surgery itself was actually pretty short because they just did a partial hip replacement. They just took that bone out and put a fake one in there. So like 45 minutes for the actual surgery. But of course there was the getting him in there. Then there was the recovery. And then for him to go back up to the room. Waiting room was fun. I don't know if you've ever been in a hospital waiting room once it's late at night. But staff, volunteers, they've all gone home. Janitorial hasn't come around yet. And so that waiting room was trashed with a whole day's worth of open boxes, pizza boxes, pop bottles, chip bags, junk everywhere. I went into the bathroom that was near there. I don't know what happened in there, but like the toilet paper thing and the period pad thing, it all got knocked off the wall. There was trash everywhere. Like this is my version of hell, is being in a dirty place. And I'm like, I'm going to be in this dirty place for I don't know how long. So, and then there was a family in there. If the Connors, Roseanne's family, if the Connors were in a hospital waiting room, this is probably what they would have been like. I kept looking at them. I'm like, I'm stuck in a waiting room with the Connors. They were playing a card game, but they were playing it very loudly to the point that at one point they were screaming, playing their card game. Like, you are not at your house. You are in a public place and a hospital. There are other, well, it was just me and another guy in there, but I'm like, I just don't understand people that don't have any concept of other people around them. They're in their own world, and they're like, we're going to sit here in a hospital and play a card game and scream. So I was super annoyed by that. Hadn't eaten, so I had to eat out of the vending machine. That was fun. Anyway, I think I got home that night. He got it back to his room, and he came out of anesthesia pissed off. They brought him up to the room, and I was waiting for him, and they were like, oh, he's really wound up. He was yelling at them. He was swatting at them, trying to hit the nurses. He got one, hit one of them. They're like, it's okay. They were kind of laughing. They're like, we see it all the time, especially with elderly. They come out, they're confused. But he was really, I said, this isn't like him at all. I'm so sorry. He was like, what are we doing? And I'd say, Dad, you just had surgery. I know that, but what are we doing? God, that went on for a while. Excuse me, I like trying to impersonate angry Papa makes me choke. But yeah, so nurses were there. They were, going to handle everything. It's late. So I left them in his hands. And I'd given him all the warnings that, he's had with surgeries, like hallucinations and trying to get up. But with the broken hip, he had a big brace on his leg. And I don't think there was he couldn't move at all. So at least worrying about him trying to get up, felt like that wouldn't happen. But yeah, he wasn't too happy. Then so I got home and I had like eBay orders I had to get done. Of course, the dogs had been home. I had popped home for a very short period of time. After he'd gotten up to his room, after the emergency room, he got up to the regular room where he was going to be, and they were getting him settled there. So I ended up leaving at that point to come back home, take care of the dogs, take care of some things around the house, because we'd left at 4 a.m. I tried to take a little nap because I'd been up at that point since 1. I knew it was going to be a late night. I tried to take a little nap. But anyway, up until then me leaving the hospital a second time and me getting home and me finally getting to bed, it was midnight. So I'd basically been up from 1 a.m. to midnight that day with that. So then the next day, he called me initially. And, I hate it here. These people are horrible. And no. And what am I doing? And where am I? And I'm like, oh, God. Please don't hallucinate again. But he calmed down. He's like, he knew it was surgery. He just, he was in a new place. He's confused. So that day at the hospital, my brother went, then I went, then he came back, my brother, and then I went. So there was always somebody with him. We just like tag teamed it off. My brother had been in Oklahoma when it happened, so he hadn't gotten back until like 10 p.m. the night it happened. And by then my dad was out of surgery and I was leaving. So, and he was just having a lot of pain, physical therapy, they want to get you up. And I kept telling him, it's gonna hurt. It's going to hurt. It hurts. I'm like, it's gonna hurt. Trying to get him to accept the fact that it is going to hurt. And he is going to have to try to push through that and work with therapy. because that's how he gets to come home. So, okay, I know. And so kind of just having to constantly repeat to him, because when you have a broken bone, you know, like the nurse and the doctor say, it's a broken bone. No pain medication is really going to fix the broken bone the day it happened, obviously. And then coming out of surgery, you know, yes, they have pain meds and things, and they were working. But when it was time to move him and stuff, you know, there's going to be pain. So then yesterday, no, what day are we on? Today's Sunday. So Friday, he was able to be released, but he had to obviously go to a rehabilitation facility. But the medical part, the IV and that kind of stuff that he needed, that was over. He was good. So when he had gotten sick, I think it was just last year, he'd gotten sick, like had a virus, and he was real wobbly, and the doctor wanted to send him to the hospital, but this hospital felt that he needed some rehabilitation because he couldn't really walk initially. And when that happened, you know, they tell you, where do you want him to go? So Papa has John Deere insurance. Well, he's old enough to be on Medicare. So Medicare covers what Medicare covers, and then what they don't cover, John Deere picks up. So he has very good insurance. So he could go anywhere. At that time, my brother and I said, well, send him to this new place that has all the commercials on TV, and they're so fancy dancy poo. And I'm like, well, gosh, if he can go there, send him there. What we didn't realize is the front of the facility is all brand spanking new, and like maybe the permanent, you know, assisted living people live there, but the rehabilitation part is all the way in the back, which was an old, nasty nursing home unit that looked like a prison. So he spent a few days there, and I was like, oh God. So this time I wanted to make sure, like, he's going to a brand new facility. So we got him into a brand new, state-of-the-art, the high-end complex that's in our area. So it's not only like 55 and older assisted living, and then they also have nursing home, memory care, and then they have rehabilitation programs. So it's a big sprawling complex. There's restaurants out there. So we got him into there. So then Friday was waiting for him to be discharged, setting up where he was going to go, and then they come and they took him there, and then getting him set up into that room. And of course, once again, then he's upset because he's confused and it hurts, and you know, and we're going through the whole thing again. But finally got him settled there. Did they bring him dinner at that point? Can't remember. But I stayed there a while until he was settled. I knew he was safe. Again, I'd been there, like my brother and I had been off and on all day there. Finally got to a place where, again, I thought I could leave, so went home. And then yesterday morning, he calls me straight away. He could remember how to use the phone. I hate it here. People are horrible. The food's terrible. I can't walk across this room. It's too big. I'm like, number one, Dad, you don't walk. Remember, you just broke your hip. You don't get up and walk. Oh, yeah, okay. I said, and the call button, you got to call for help. I can't find the call button. I'm like, look down at your wrist. You're wearing a bracelet now with a big red button on it. That's the call button. Oh, okay, I just forgot. So he's just so confused, So I keep telling him, you know, he now gets it. Like, if you need anything, press the call button. You need to go to the bathroom. You need something to eat. You need to get readjusted. Anything at all, you press the button. I even wrote him a note and left it there. Need help? Press the button on your wrist. So yesterday got better. He didn't want to eat, which is normal, but he didn't want to eat. And, you know, again, my brother and I, you have to eat or you can't come home. Do you want to come home? Yes, I want to come home. I want to come home right now. Well, you can't come home right now, but they're not going to let you come home ever if you don't eat. So he finally ate something for dinner. So it's just been a lot of repeating to him, reassuring him. You know, you kind of think someone's been in an accident, had an accident, surgery. They're kind of immobile. They're just there, that you could trust that the nurses and the staff and everything would be taken care of. And if it were me, that would be true, because I know and I'm aware to call for help and to know what to do. But when you have somebody who can't remember that or is confused or whatever, then it's very difficult to leave them alone, because obviously the nurses and everybody will help him, but he's not in an open ward like an ICU where they can see him all the time. They have other patients, and he's got to remember to call for help. So getting him to remember to call for help, I think now he's finally got it. He called me. My brother went over this morning, and then actually my dad called me just now. And how you doing? He's good mood. I'm like, great. I'm going to head over shortly. So the physical therapist there told him that they were going to really try to get him home in 2 weeks. Try. Again, if it were somebody younger, it wouldn't take that long, but because his age and, his upper body strength is weak, so maneuvering, being able to get up and down, again, this big brace has to be on his leg for 2 weeks, and you can't cross your legs. There's all kinds of things that he has to be careful of so that, joint doesn't pop out. And then obviously pushing yourself on a walker. If it were me, I'm sure I could probably maneuver it, but for him, it's not gonna be as easy. It's gonna take more time. But they did a physical therapy with him today. So, like we keep telling him, you just have to do what physical therapy says. It's gonna hurt. Listen to them, push through, and every day will get better. So he seems like he's in a good place today. So yeah, that is what has been going on. Again, I've been posting this on Facebook and Instagram, so if you haven't been following me there, now is a great time because I share a lot to that. But I wanted to come on and make a video and share with all of you because I know not everybody, looks at the other social media and let you know about Papa. So this could have been so much worse. He could have hit his head, did not. Could have really shattered the hip and needed a total hip replacement. He did not. And he only had to be in the hospital like not even 2 full days, and now he's in a really, really great place for his rehab. I mean, that place is like a freaking hotel. It is so nice over there. I was like, I want to move in. Jeez, can I stay overnight? It's so nice over here. So anyway, that is the update on Papa. I have not been doing my daily vlogging. The last time I filmed a daily vlog would have been last Tuesday. And for you guys, that means you will probably have seen it. Well, you'll have seen it. As you are watching this now, you would have seen that video yesterday. So anyway, I'm filming this video. I'm going to get this one up to go after that one because I had wanted to film like a week ahead so I'd be ahead. And of course, just as soon as I decide to do that, something happens and I'm not filming. Come on. But anyway, and now I'm going to do another video here of an unboxing. And then hopefully tomorrow I can start vlogging again. So at least I'll be a few days ahead on videos because I do really want to stick to that 5-day-a-week video schedule. So that is the plan. We shall try that. But anyway, again, just wanted to give you guys an update on Papa. I know on Instagram they've been sharing our P.O. box because people want to send him a get well card. If you want to send him a get well card, I will link our P.O. box below, and you can certainly do that if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, you certainly can. And yeah, it's going to be a couple weeks of me doing all the shipping for eBay. I immediately, like, he was in the hospital the first time, like, as we were in the ER, I started going through my eBay listings and taking down all the dishes. Anything that is going to take me more than 5 minutes to ship is gone. So the dish sets, glass, all that stuff that's hard to ship, gone. I had one order I had to do the night that I finally came home after, the day of the fall, and it was 4 plates, and oh my God, it took me forever. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. So about 400 listings, I think, got taken down, but there's still plenty up there. I have sale going, promoted listings, all that kind of stuff. So at least what's selling now is relatively easy to ship. So I can handle it. And of course, I'm not having to spend all day at the hospital now so that I can free up my time. And I got 2 needy little dogs who want me all the time, and house and business and stuff. And I at least feel better knowing that he's in a safe place and he's being taken care of, and I can get there about 15 minutes. So anyway, that is the update on Papa. And now I'm going to go film one more video, and then I'm going to head over to see him. And then tomorrow, hopefully get back to vlogging. So for all of you who did know and messaged and commented, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Papa will be, he's in good hands. He'll be fine. So just thankful that it was not worse. Could have been worse. Always could be worse, right? Could always be worse. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.